Hello, I'm John Reinhardt, the Dean of Graduate Studies here at Appalachian Bible College, and I'm today with Dr. Daniel Davey, and he is going to talk with me about an upcoming class entitled Fitting Torah and Grace Together, Deuteronomy and Romans. Now, Dr. Davey, we're excited about this course. Can you tell us a little bit about what this will entail?
Thank you, Dr. John. First of all, just thank you for allowing me to come and be a part of the program, and I'm committed to any program that wants to encourage ministers, ministry, serving, those kinds of things. I think that this school typifies that as they're sharpening servants, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I think one of the key biblical, theological, foundational ideas that we have to understand and come to grips with is how the Old Testament scriptures and the New Testament scriptures come together. And when you open up the book of Romans, and it says in chapter 1, verse 1, here's the gospel of God, and the very next verse is, this was prophesied in writing by the prophets, then immediately you say, okay, how does this actually fit? How do the writings of the prophets, how do the writings of Moses fit with the gospel of God? So this is what has launched my thinking over the years and putting together specifically the law that was given through Moses, and then grace that came through Jesus Christ. John 1 tells us about that. Law came through Moses, 1:17, grace and truth come through Jesus Christ. So my personal passion for this is that I understand that properly, how they fit together, and they do fit. For instance, in Romans 3:31, I brought my text with me. It says this: do we then make void the law because of faith? God forbid. Yea, we establish the law. We confirm the law. So in Paul's thinking in the book of Romans, the bottom line is this: law is not discarded, law is confirmed by faith. So the next question is, how does this work? And I think of Romans chapter 10, where it says in verse 4 that Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to all those who believe. Next verse, there is a righteousness based upon the law. Next verse, but there is a righteousness that's based on faith. So how this fits together is going to be important for us because it helps us to be teachers and preachers of grace, what that really means. And so that's my passion, that's my burden, and that's what I'd like to be able to share in this particular class.
Excellent. What textbooks are you planning on using for this course?
That's a great course, a great question. I would say that the old standard from years ago was Alva J. McLean, who was president of Grace Theological Seminary. He wrote a wonderful little book called Law and Grace. I've often wondered if that has ever even been topped by some more modern writers. I will say that Myron Houghton has done a very nice job with Law and Grace in his book before he went home to be with the Lord. So I would probably for sure have you read those two. And then there is a 5-view book that's out on the law. That's edited by Greg Bonson that we would probably use as well. And there could be some other articles that we might want them to read, but to really introduce them to, and not just what we think is right, but let's read how people in the past have viewed this, and is it correct? Is it right? Is it biblical? And then to be able to come away from the class, I think, with a great appreciation, A, for how God works through people in the past, B, that we are standing on the shoulders of many people to be able to come to grips with what I think is an important understanding of the book of Deuteronomy, Torah, law, and the book of Romans, and the gospel of grace.
Wonderful. Well, we're very thankful for your partnership with us here at ABC. And your course on Romans and your course on Revelation were excellent. We're looking forward to adding this to our courses here at Appalachian Bible College. If you'd like more information about this course or other courses, please see abc.edu/graduate.